Thank you for tuning in to the Voice of the Victim podcast. We discuss a lot of sad and potentially triggering things on this show. We try to be as sensitive and cautious as possible, but if you are sensitive to things involving abuse and may be triggered, please think twice before listening to our show.
Well, Rosie, winter's here.
No, it's not. That's what we call denial.
Well, it's good that you're aware of the problem.
Welcome to the Voice of the Victim podcast. I'm Rosie.
And I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to talk about
Staying sane during this unprecedented year. Now that winter's here. I mean, winter's always rough for people, but this year especially, it kind of feels catastrophic.
We should mention that we live in Wisconsin, and it snowed a good 5 inches yesterday. 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Just for those who are like
outside,
in
look
Florida.
at the steps. I'd say 7 inches for sure.
It's been a hard day.
Yeah. The hard part is we're like ready for winter, but we thought fall was going to last till like the end of November because it usually does. We were going to be raking leaves today. I mean, today was the big leaf day, but now there's snow everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about how we personally are planning to deal with it, how we have in the past, and also sharing some ideas that we found online, just dealing with the cold weather, the snow, the harsh driving conditions. Before we begin, we just want to thank our 2 new patrons, Tammy and Megan.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. And
we have a few more, but we want to make sure we can say thank you on the show. So check your Patreon messages.
Check your Patreon messages. All right. Ready to jump into it?
Yeah.
So, Rosie, how do you personally deal with cold weather?
Well, I'm trying a new approach this year. Usually what I do is pout.
Yeah, yesterday you got that out of the way.
Usually I'm very pessimistic about it. I swear about it. And I'm all around a real downer about winter.
Yeah.
Yesterday was really difficult, like we said, because we knew it was supposed to snow. Everyone knew.
But we were like, it probably won't stick.
But then it happened, and everyone realized that, whoa, okay, this is like a snow. It's not a stupid little dusting.
Yeah, and I would like to mention that 10 days ago, literally last Friday,
we were in shorts.
It was 85 degrees here.
So it's been a real whirlwind of nature, and driving home from work usually takes me 25 minutes. Yesterday it took me an hour because the snow was so bad. Well,
yeah, and I mean the government's already been spread so thin lately, but they weren't prepared to be treating the roads. You know, they usually dump sand and salt and stuff on the roads.
So for those
and
of
plow.
You,
but yesterday I didn't see one plow.
No, it was so early in the year. For those of you who don't know what winter is like, who are blessed enough to not live in a cold state.
I would call it an extreme state because we get extreme hot and extreme cold.
I love the hot. But anyway, driving in a snowstorm, especially the first one of the year, every year people are in shock and don't remember how to drive.
Well, yeah, you got to get your sea legs.
But it's like, we have lived here forever. How do people forget?
Well, it's been like 7 months since we felt our car slip out from under us.
Cars slip on the snow all the time, especially when there's no salt down, which there wasn't because no one knew it was going to be so bad.
It's so different from driving on dry pavement
It
because
is so
you got to
different.
start slowing down so much sooner,
Imagine
or
driving
you just
on
slide
honey.
right through an intersection.
You're driving in honey everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
except it's not as sticky as honey.
Right.
It's more like driving on grease.
Grease, yeah, that's better. Chunky, white, from being in the pan for too long, grease.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a rough time driving as hard in the winter. Anyway, so I got home and, I turned off my car in the garage and I screamed and I swore. And then once I was done with that, I got out of the car and I went and laid on my grandmother's bed and complained for the first.
Your grandma, who also hates winter.
Yeah, she was actually very optimistic and nice. She was trying to encourage me to snowshoe. And I was like, I will when it's winter, but it's not winter.
It's funny you mentioned that because we'll be talking about doing outdoor activities later in this episode.
So after crying to Gam Gam and being very upset, I used her printer, came back downstairs to our apartment, talked to a friend on FaceTime, which actually helped, even though I knew she was going to be like, it's winter, it's amazing.
Did you want to talk to her on FaceTime?
No, not at first.
So that's an important thing to remember. Sometimes you got to push yourself out of your comfort zone to feel better. Because once you talk to her, you did feel better.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the evening turned out to be quite lovely.
So you had a nice call with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few glasses of wine, which this time of year, they really help, you know?
They're cozy,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Like, when I think of, like, a winter beverage, it's either in a mug or in a wine glass.
Yes.
Like, get those little umbrellas out of here. Those remind me of summer.
Right. So this morning, when I woke up, my first thought was, what can I do? Or basically, what were the things during normal life in past years that I was excited about for winter?
Oh, yeah.
The first things that came to my mind were going to the mall,
Yes.
walking around Mall of America, getting a nice
Bubble
fancy coffee from Starbucks to start off the day. Just, simple pleasures in life. Like,
Build-A-Bear.
yeah. Well, I don't endorse getting pre-made coffee all the time, but on special days during the winter when you have a chance, because life is slower during the winter than usual, you have more time to do things. Although this year we've had time to do things, so it's still kind of like, oh, we've been doing this all year. But so I obviously wasn't going to go out to Starbucks today because it's just not the same when you're wearing a mask. It's not the same magical experience. So I looked up on YouTube how to make a latte.
You did.
And realized I need one of those little milk steamer stick things.
Realized we had nothing to make a latte.
Espresso machine would be ideal, which we don't have. But
Ideal.
But when I got up this morning, the first thing I did was make us both a nice fancy cinnamon honey coffee to start the day, so we could kind of feel like we were drinking like a professionally made fancy coffee drink. So that's one way for me that I plan on dealing with things, is trying to find those comforts that I would usually get somewhere else and find a way to make them myself at home. Because I do really appreciate the fact that we're able to enjoy our house more now.
That's true.
Now that we have time. I mean, we work so hard for this stuff. Nick Offerman actually said this on Rainn Wilson's YouTube channel, Soul Pancake. If you don't know, Nick Offerman is Ron Swanson. Rainn Wilson is Dwight Schrute. So a couple of legends talking about how they're dealing with this time. And Nick Offerman mentioned that, what were we just talking about?
About how we work so hard for our stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we spend so much of our lives and work so hard getting the stuff we have. So this current situation kind of forces you to enjoy what you've earned.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's a good point.
That's a silver lining.
What I personally enjoy is like pushing TV time till like the very end of the day.
Yeah.
So I try really hard not to turn on the TV and to be quite frank, I kind of hate TV, except when I'm tired.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of TV.
Well, that kind of goes along with another thing
Yeah.
that Nick Offerman mentioned is basically a surplus of information causes a lack of concentration.
Mm-hmm.
So the more information you're taking in, the harder it is for you to focus on the tasks you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
That's something I really need to work on because I feel like whether I'm driving or I'm drinking my coffee or eating or other things, I'm always like watching YouTube videos in my free time.
You do that quite a bit.
And taking in as much information as I can.
But as much as you watch YouTube videos, I listen to YouTube videos while I do stuff.
Right. Dr. Phil.
I'm a Dr. Phil addict.
I mean, it's good to take in information and try to learn all the time, but that's why the term ignorance is bliss exists, is because the more stuff you know, the more information you take in, the more you're thinking about stuff, the harder it is to focus on your own life and what you need to do and what makes you happy. So for me personally, I'm definitely going to be working on taking more quiet time for myself instead of always going straight to YouTube or music or anything, podcasts even.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like, don't listen to podcasts, because obviously we appreciate you listening, but taking in too much information is detrimental to me personally. But actually, before we keep going, before we talk about these other things, do you want to talk about what we got yesterday?
Yeah. It was an actual huge mood booster as well. We got some fan mail yesterday from Kelsart.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Okay, Kelsey, thank you so much. She's on Instagram at it's KELSR art.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend going to check her out because it's very unique style. I really like it.
Yeah, very like psychedelic. Some of it's kind of creepy, really colorful. Yeah. So we got this fan package in the mail yesterday, which was really great timing because I was so sad.
When you got home.
And she gave us some really, really cool stuff. She gave us 3 puzzles, COVID approved, puzzle time. And they all have like her prints of her art like on the puzzle pieces. Super cool. And then she also gave us like a record that has like super swirly color paint on it. Super cool. I think the record actually might be my favorite.
Me too.
And also some other prints of her art. And I really like the one with the flowers on it. Super cute. That one I'm going to find a special place for. She also wrote us a super nice letter that we asked her if we could read out loud. And she said, yeah.
Yeah. No, but it was so generous.
Yeah, like, super generous.
All this art she gave us. We appreciate that so much.
Like Kelsey, we're not expecting all this stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's so nice.
It's really cool. And I'm really glad you did, because I had no idea our P.O. box had been expired.
Yeah.
But thankfully, since our P.O. box is at the post office I used to work at, they recognized it and they called me. And they're like, do you want to come pick this up? Anyway, long story short, I renewed our P.O. box and put it on auto renew.
Yay!
So now that won't happen. And thankfully, they still had our number that we've been putting out there. So
I think we should take a picture of all this cool stuff and put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, I think we definitely should.
Yeah.
Okay, should I read the letter?
Yeah.
All right, or do you want to read it?
You got the letter in your hands. You want to read that puppy.
I do. Okay, it says, Rosie and Ryan, thank you guys so much for making such an excellent podcast. I have been a loyal follower since almost the beginning, and I love it. I think what you do is incredibly important, and you talk about things most people cannot handle. I feel like a huge problem in this country that has been getting worse is how little our society seems to practice compassion and empathy for their fellow man. So true. Mm-hmm. While some people wonder why and how I can listen to some of the subject matter, I feel that it helps me be more empathetic. Same. You two are such an incredible couple, full of kindness and love. I know this year has been absolute trash, but just know that you have helped me stay sane through it.
Aww.
I am also a child sexual abuse victim, and am currently going to school to get my paralegal degree.
Good for you.
I would love to work in criminal justice and end up working for an organization like Project Innocence. But you guys have really lit a fire within me to help my fellow survivors.
Aww.
Thank you so much for your kindness and inspiration. I hope you stay safe and healthy. Love you guys. Hope you enjoy the art. Let me know if you ever want a custom painting. Wow.
I know, it's so nice.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. That was really cool.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. And our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 1425 in Hudson, Wisconsin, 54016.
And it's not expired.
Yeah, it's reactivated. So hopefully no one else sent us stuff without telling us. But I say this every time. If you do send us something, make sure you let us know. Mm-hmm. It's on the way. So we remember to go check it. Otherwise, I think that's it for that. So should we jump into these tips from the experts to stay sane?
I would like to hear what they have to say.
Okay, so this one is according to WBEZ.com. I think it's associated with NPR or something. But their first tip is get your blood levels checked.
Oh, that's not fun.
I know. But let's see what it has to say. It says, Angelos Hilaris, psychiatrist and professor at Loyola University Medical Center, said one way seasonal affective disorder is diagnosed is by checking whether a person has sufficient vitamin D, which tends to decrease in the winter.
I know I got
So
that.
I feel like instead of get your blood levels checked, this should say supplement vitamin D.
Yeah.
Which I've been taking vitamin D for the past 3 days.
You have? I didn't know.
So I got to jump on it. Yeah.
I feel so left out.
Do you want to go take it right now?
I'm going to.
Okay.
Get on it.
But I feel like it definitely has made a difference.
Do you really? Or is it kind of like the...
Placebo?
Yeah.
No, because I don't want to ever be sad. But I'm sad a lot less if I'm taking vitamin D.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, that's basically what the rest of this section says, is taking vitamin D supplements can help. But your blood levels can help determine what dose you might need and whether a prescription grade dose is necessary. So
1 handful, 2 handfuls.
it's up to you. I don't care about getting it checked. But if you have especially low, you might apparently need prescription grade dosage. So, number 2, use light therapy.
Oh yeah, my mom has been bugging me about this.
So what's that?
It's yeah, like you can get a lamp that has special healing powers of the sun. And you
Like ultraviolet rays?
I don't know the exact scientific word, but it helps you with your vitamin D. Like it gives you the same type of rays from the sun. So
Oh yeah, it says light therapy can help trick your body into thinking the days actually aren't getting shorter and help boost vitamin D that you would normally be getting from the sun.
okay, again though, I just have to be a little pessimistic. Okay, maybe it's tricking my body, but my noggin is in the same state.
Right.
Of like, yeah, I'm laying under a light bulb. Fun. I don't know.
See, when I saw light therapy, I thought it meant like get the lighting in your house with some soft yellows.
You're thinking hygge.
Hygge?
Yeah. Don't you remember
Lagom?
hygge? No, lagom is different than hygge.
Oh,
Hygge is all about the cozy.
I was going to bring that up later, actually. And I thought that was part of logum for some reason. But, I mean, logum is also obviously very applicable. If you don't know what we're talking about, Rosie did a whole episode on logum. Can't remember which number it was.
I also talked about hygge some time ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And I plan on grabbing that book.
But part of that was wearing comfy socks, not putting off getting dressed in the morning and like getting ready for the day, brushing your teeth and all that. Do that right away. Get dressed as if you're going out, even if you're staying home. It makes a huge difference in the way you feel.
It makes a ginormous difference.
Also, cleaning up the mess from the night before as soon as possible, like you did this morning. Mm-hmm. But another part of that is, for me, I love yellow lights. Like, the lights in our house are super white, super bright white lights.
We don't use them very often.
Yeah, they like wake you up. But I really like the soft yellow lights because they feel so cozy, especially those Edison bulbs that we get. So yeah, that's what I thought light therapy was. But I don't know. If it's something you think you're interested in, check it out. It sounds fascinating. So the last one is make a plan to stay social. Now this one is really hard for me because, yeah, we have plans often to meet up with people on Zoom, but it's so hard to log in. The thought of talking to people, for me personally, is intimidating. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. Kind of like with your phone call with your friend last night. But once you do it, once you get over that fear and just do it, it really helps. This article says social interaction is an effective tool in warding off depression, whether it's a virtual hangout or safe indoor hang where you're social distancing. So, yeah, social activity, vitamin D, those seem to be the two things that this article is focused on.
Interesting.
I have one more article, but first, do you want to talk about lagom?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about hygge.
Oh, hygge. I'm so sorry to people whose cultures I'm offending right now.
Okay.
So, where's hygge from?
Danish.
Oh.
It's Danish.
So they're all kind of Scandinavian things because like they're always cold.
Yeah, correct, sir. Yeah, so I've mentioned hygge a few times. I am a huge lagom fan, but for wintertime, I think hygge is the way to go. Because hygge is all about having an atmosphere and an experience rather than about stuff. It's about being with the people that we love, a feeling of home, feeling that we're safe and shielded from the world around us, not having to worry about putting our guard down. It's about cozy. So while we're cold and shut up in the wintertime, we need this.
Your face when you said shut up.
I know, because I was like, why did I just say that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some really important things, I'm just going to look in my hygge book right now, is light, like you said, but the kind of light where it's mood lighting. Candles are part of it. Having good food, smell, the clothing that you're wearing, having things around you that bring you joy. And I know it's easy to say because we all have so much junk in our houses. But it doesn't mean just having like your house plumb full of stuff. It means like having particular things that you look at and it's like, oh, happy.
Yeah. Like realizing which particular things personally bring you joy and surrounding yourself with them.
Yeah.
Right?
So for instance, my hygge experience in my apartment, I need my fireplace on, and I'm not talking about a fancy fireplace. We have a hand-me-down Menards entertainment center with a built-in fireplace with a little remote. So I need that on almost all the time.
But it blows heat. It's also a heater.
It's also a heater, but it's not that great.
So it tricks your mind like the fake light.
I like that. I need it. I need a lot of blankies around my house, but not like thrown about. I need them pleasantly folded. I like having some pillows that are cute on my couches. I'm always wearing super fuzzy socks. And just to let you know, I have a fresh pair that I just bought from Target. I bought my mom a little gifty, and they were buy one, get one half off, so I gave myself a little gifty.
Aww.
Super fluffy socks, warm, hugging sweaters. I like loose sweatshirts. It's a little bit of a collection of mine. I collect sweatshirts from places that I go.
That's one thing for me personally that you forced me to buy a pullover. What's it called? Crop top?
Crew neck.
Oh.
Not a crop top.
I just realized what a crop top is.
Yeah.
No one wants that. Crew neck, pullover, no zipper, sweatshirt. And I was so against it because I like the zipper. I like just being able to put it on instead of pull it over. But I gotta say, you were right. It's very comforting to have a
It is.
non-zipper pullover sweater on.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. So this is the Hygge Manifesto. This is what you need, okay? Number 1, atmosphere. You need warm lighting. Turn off your fluorescents. Get them out.
Yeah, get out of here, white bright light.
Number 2, there's 10 of these. Presence. Be here now. Turn off your phone.
Yeah.
You do not need to be on your phone all the time.
Cut out the distractions.
In fact, sometimes when we have dinner at the table, I tell Ryan, hey, let's put our phones on the other side of the table and don't look at them. Number 3, a little bit of pleasure. Chocolate, coffee, candy, little something something.
Wait, while we're on the topic of atmosphere, which was the first one,
Yeah.
does that also include putting on some nice relaxing music?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so don't forget that, because for us, putting on a Spotify playlist or Pandora playlist really makes a difference.
Yesterday, you guys, I actually found a playlist on YouTube that was called Cozy Coffee Shop Music.
Is that what it was playing?
Yeah.
It sounded so jazzy.
It's like,
Are you serious?
yeah.
I know why you found it.
Why?
Because that's what I was listening to yesterday while I was writing our outline for
really?
next week.
And it sounds like you're in a coffee
Was
shop?
there a picture of a coffee, with steam?
No. It looked like I was in the inside of a coffee shop,
Oh.
actually. And you could hear the door open and a little bell on the door ringing.
Did you search for it or was it recommended?
No, I searched for it.
Oh, wow.
I looked up Cozy.
Wow.
Anyway.
We're
Music
just on
is
the same page.
Number 4, equality. We over me. Share the tasks and the airtime.
Very nice.
Okay. Number 5, gratitude. Take in the things around you and enjoy them for the little things that they are, instead of just oh, that's a nice bowl of soup. Let me swallow it in one gulp and do something else.
So speaking of which, let's slow down and dissect these instead of just rushing through them.
Sorry.
Sharing the tasks, that's something I can also work on, because
The equality bit.
because while you cleaned the kitchen this morning, I was going through a list of 90s and early 2000s cartoon show intros,
Right.
and sorting them by date that they were created because of a video I'm working on for my music channel. But then when you're like, breakfast is ready, and I was like, breakfast, I realized, wow, I was just a terrible person. Anyway.
Good. I'm glad you
Yeah.
felt that way.
That's another one I can work on.
Yeah, they could work on that, actually. The gratitude one to me is important because I feel like, especially in this culture of being American, we don't sit down and really enjoy our food. I'm just going to associate the gratitude with food for a second, because
Fast food, baby.
when I was on my travels back in the day when I could go on an airplane and in France enjoying the fine cuisine, it would be a 2-hour deal. That was short to eat and enjoy and fuss over your food, have a sip, talk for 15 minutes, and then have another bite. I just loved it so much. So I think it's really important for us to you put so much effort into cooking if you actually do cook, because cooking's annoying. So once you do it, you have this amazing thing. Don't just gulp it down.
Do you realize when you were in France, we were only on episode 4 of this podcast?
That's wild.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that is wild. See, look at us taking that in. That little bit of knowledge.
Nice. So what's number 5?
That was number 5. Number 6 is harmony. It's not a competition.
Wow, that really goes hand in hand with the last one, teamwork or whatever it was.
There's no need to be competing with a person that you're living with in your space. It's not a place to be bragging about your achievements or rushing to get tasks done so the other person can feel bad about it. Having harmony in your home. Anything to say about that? Or should I move on?
Well, I think if someone feels bad about your accomplishments, it's more their problem. But
Right. I like talking about accomplishments, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I guess it depends on the time because obviously when you need to be productive, it's very good to be focused and getting tasks done. But at the same time, if other tasks, more important tasks need to be done, it's good to help out with them and fill your role. And like harmony, not every role in a harmony is the same. There's the main melody and the harmony fits around it. So it's like each of us finding where we fit in whatever needs to be done and helping each other to make it happen. Even though it's not the exact same role, it's like work together and it works out. Because what was the other one about teamwork before? Number 4 or 5?
Equality.
Yeah. Equality and harmony, 2 different things, but very complementary to each other. So I like that because sometimes people would equate harmony with not being equal, but taking turns for whose melody, whose harmony. That makes it equality.
There you go. Beautifully said.
Okay, what's number 6? I keep being
7.
behind. I'm
Number
sorry.
7 is comfort. This one to me is probably actually the most important. To be comfortable, take a break, and relax in your safe, cozy hygge space. Okay? I'm not talking about, like we said, rolling out of bed in your jams and then slithering on the couch for 9 hours. No, that's not comfort. That's not it.
That's the recipe for sadness.
That's a recipe for depression.
Believe me, I know.
I'm talking about, to me, what comfort is having my home clean, having candles going because it smells wonderful, having my fireplace on, my socks, and then, after everything is done, sitting down. Perfect.
You feel accomplished.
Yeah, I'm smiling just thinking about it. Like grabbing my book, and if I want to get a little spicy, a tea, and sitting on the couch.
All the important things are done and they're behind you.
Yeah.
And now you can focus on enjoying yourself.
Right now I could not do that because we need to sweep, vacuum. I have a little dusting I need to do. I need to make the bed and change the sheets.
I have an entire basket of clean clothes sitting here to put away.
That will not be put away for you.
I know. But before we move on, what's your favorite candle?
Oh, I have to say, I really enjoy Sweater Weather from Bath and Body Works. I'm a little bit of a candle snob.
It's like leaves and apples.
Yeah,
Right?
the key notes are crisp apples and leaves, says
Love
it on
it.
the side.
I love the earthy ones, like leaves and wood.
I love candles, and I know they're bad for you, but I don't care.
Well, it depends which ones, because most of the scents are based off of real natural oils.
Well, it's like the smoke, or whatever.
You mean incense?
I don't know what I'm talking about. People are
I
always
think
telling me
people
to
are talking
switch.
about the ones that are like heavy in chemicals, like to
Maybe.
make synthetic smells instead of.
I don't know.
I don't know.
People want me to switch to essential oils, and I'm not ready.
Well, those fill a different role. Like, oh, you mean in diffusers? Mm-hmm. But what about the ambiance a candle creates?
I know. And if you don't want candles, there's another trick in hygge. It's putting on a pot on your stove and simmering some essential oils.
Ooh.
And also like some fruit slices, cinnamon sticks, and just letting it simmer on your stove all day. I've done that before. It is glorious.
Yeah, until it's time to
glorious.
clean up.
Well, it's not that bad. But anyway, number 8, truce. Having a no drama llama space. Putting aside your differences, stopping the fight, saying, okay, we'll agree to disagree, moving on. Discussing politics another day.
Politics.
That's what my book says.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a topic to avoid if you want a truce.
Number 9, togetherness. Keynote, nostalgia. Do you remember the time we ...
Oh.
Works every time.
I was going to bring up nostalgia too, because I've been very heavy into nostalgia these days because I'm, it brings you comfort
Yeah.
in times like this, which is why I was looking up theme songs to 90s cartoons that I watched when I was a kid. Rugrats,
Cat Dog.
SpongeBob, Cat Dog. Yeah. Good stuff. Anyway.
The last one is shelter. This is your tribe. This is your home. And this is the place of peace and security. Ah. Doesn't that sound nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I love this book, and I love Hygge, and I think it's perfect for wintertime.
What's the book called?
This one is called The Little Book of Hygge, Danish Secrets to Happy Living.
Very nice.
Really quick to wrap my little Hygge bit up. In Denmark, a popular saying goes, there is no bad weather, only bad clothing.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Man.
Some describe the Danish weather as dark, windy, and damp. And some say Denmark has 2 winters, one gray and one green. With this kind of weather, it will come as no surprise that Danes spend most of their time indoors in the winter months. I find the Danish secret for happiness so intriguing because they are actually the happiest people out there.
Really?
Yeah. And their secret is the Hygge. So, that's all I want to say.
Fascinating.
I mean, think about that. All the Danish people have to go through such cold, terrifying weather.
Yeah. I'm glad that we do have summer.
Yeah, me too.
And like 10 minutes of fall.
10 minutes of fall. We had a good fall.
We did?
I thought so. It was
All
good colors.
9 days of it?
No. That's a pessimistic attitude.
I'm sorry. We all are pessimistic about something, I guess. Okay, so I have the rest of this other article here from bustle.com, which is ways to stay sane as it gets colder, which I just thought was very apt because that's why we wanted to make this episode. Mm-hmm. So the first one is bask in the wonders of indoor activities. Or are you still on Hygge?
No.
Or?
Sorry,
Okay.
I just forgot.
You're just
how
sitting
much I
there
love this
reading your book while we're recording. Bask in the wonders of indoor activities. That's kind of goes along with what you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Says, since it's far too cold to be outside, you might as well take advantage of all those indoor activities you've been dying to do.
Dying to do.
Remember last summer uttering the words, "We can't see a movie, it's way too nice outside."
Yep.
Well, now's your chance to see all the movies you want. See, winter and fall aren't so bad after all. Remember theaters?
Yeah, I miss movie theaters.
Remember new movies at the theater?
Yeah.
I know it's a smart financial decision and just progressive decision in general for Disney to release all their new movies only on streaming, but
You don't like it?
I hate it because part of the new movie magic is seeing it on the big screen with other people and like being there for that collective experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
one of the happiest times of my life was when new Marvel movies were coming out like every 4 months and just going to the theater and seeing it with a bunch of other nerds and being there for that collective experience and seeing it on the big screen where
I
you
know.
can see all the detail and have the loud sound, no other distractions.
But remember
The distractions of home aren't there, so you don't miss
True.
anything
That's a good
important
point.
in the movie.
But there were cons, like the people in the theater that were super loud and obnoxious. That
And
talked.
the $15 popcorn.
Yeah, and maybe your floor, the floor was super sticky and your shoes stuck to it when you tried to stand up. Or that time you lost your phone in the chair.
Ugh,
And it took you like 20 minutes to get it out.
that was pretty awful.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic about that. Honestly, I kind of think movie theaters might be a thing of the past.
Ugh.
Because I don't think they're going to
Well, if they are,
make it.
movies in general are going to lose their importance, and people aren't going to care about them as much, and they won't be as profitable of an industry.
It's just wild to think about.
Yeah, it is.
I am not wanting to waste my winter just watching TV, though. So what's another tip on that website?
All right. It says you may also want to expand your horizons at your local museum. Get lost in an art gallery, read as many books as you can, or spend a day sifting through albums in a record store.
Yeah.
That might be a little difficult with COVID because they don't want you just sitting there flipping through records. But
Yeah, but you can do that kind of stuff. I like museums.
come spring, you're going to be one cultured babe. Okay, this is
Okay.
according to bustle.com. So whatever that.
I have some other activities that I like to.
Indoor activities?
Yeah.
Okay, talk
Paint-
about them.
Painting.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yes.
try to pick up on my painting skills.
Get them out today. Get the acrylics out. Set up
And
the easel.
organizing. I find this to be a prime time for organizing those stubborn drawers in closets. I think that reading is huge. We already said that.
And organizing, it's something that's really productive as well. So it gives you an extra like boost of
Yeah.
endorphins when you finish because you've accomplished something important.
Organizing the garage is on our list for this winter.
Yeah, yesterday with the surprise snow, I had to like throw a bunch of stuff that was in my spot like off to the side in the garage so I could shove my car in
Did
there.
you squeeze your car in?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that I do think it's really important to still go to places like bookstores and stuff. Like, I really want to support our local bookstores. I don't want to get any more books off of Amazon because I'm worried about them.
It just, wear a mask and be smart. Like, stay,
Yeah.
give people their space.
And we have gone places. We went to the Minnesota Zoo a couple weeks ago, and we had to wear the mask the whole time. Even you were supposed to even wear it outside, but every once in a while, I took a fresh gulp.
It's so funny because that was, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was the day before the 85-degree day. And I was so hot
Yeah.
when we were walking around at the zoo.
It was fun, though.
And now it's winter. Like, such a weird year.
There's no logic to it.
Anyway, for me personally, playing musical instruments is my favorite indoor activity. It's how I grew up since I was like I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I didn't have friends until I was 18. Maybe 16. But I literally spent my entire childhood playing drums and guitar. And like that was what I did. And that's why winter is a lot easier for me than it is for Rosie. But if you have always wanted to learn a musical instrument and just haven't got around to it yet, maybe now's the time. It might be a worthy investment.
Baking is also super fun for winter.
Baking.
Makes
It
your
is.
house smell so good. I plan on making an apple pie today, actually.
I enjoy it when you bake. The only thing is, I want my sweater to still fit me at the end of winter. So,
I want to
there's
get you
that.
another sweater. Just so you guys know, the band section crew tops at Target are $12. Wow. Such a good deal.
Yeah.
Also, I am in a desperate book rut, and I need suggestions on what to read.
Yeah.
I
give
like sad
Rosie suggestions.
things and depressing books, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of an upper. But no teen romances. I can't stand those books. They just, I just don't want it. Please don't.
Okay, so the number 2 is invest in real cold weather clothing. Like you were just talking about. I wonder if this article is like the Americanized version of what you were just reading.
Probably.
Because it says, our grandmothers have been saying it for ages, and it's true. To really be warm in the winter, you have to dress in layers. And I'm not talking about tooling around in a dress and a thin coat. I'm talking about really laying it on thick. Starting with some long underwear. I know that may sound horrible, but modern long underwear is way nicer than you may think. Again, this article is written by Carolyn Stieber from Bustle.com, so she's the one talking right now. But long underwear,
That's not
something
my
I've
thing.
never tried.
I would like to purchase a new coat. I know that I already have purchased a new coat, but that coat is not for when it's snowing because it's not waterproof at all.
Yeah, same. I was wearing my sweater jacket yesterday when I was shoveling and stuff.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, it gets so wet when
Yeah.
it's snowing.
I think we need to go to Kohl's and get new coats.
Yeah, some snowboard jackets. Remember when those were all the rage?
Yeah.
Well, this one's pretty simple. There's no such thing as cold weather.
Just bad clothing.
Cool. Number 3, give outdoor activities a try. Now, this is something you referenced earlier.
I love doing outdoor activities.
Snowshoeing is
Yeah.
one of them. Says, now that you're all suited up for the weather, some outdoor winter activities may be of interest to you. Think back to when you were a kid and how enjoyable it was to start a snowball fight or to spend the day sledding. Very true.
I would go sledding with you.
That would be so fun.
That'd be fun.
See if any of your friends would be game for a day of reliving those winter glory days. Or for a more relaxing time, head over to your local ice rink to try your hand at not falling on your face. Carolyn, you're so goofy.
We do have a local ice rink in Stillwater.
Is it open?
I don't know, but I don't like snowball fights. I've never been a huge fan. I'll cry.
As fun as it is to throw snowballs, it's not so fun to get hit with it. I wonder if this article was even written this year, because it doesn't seem to be referencing COVID at all. But
how many points are there in this article?
6. I'm on number 5. So 5 is turn your home into a winter oasis. We kind of talked about this too, making yourself comfortable at home. Wash your sheets, vacuum, get rid of any clutter, and then stock up on winter essentials like hot chocolate, tea, soups, and other comfort foods. And finally, have your slippers, blanket, and robe on standby so you're ready to go and be cozy and ready to be cozy. I think this is a typo. It says, so you're ready to be cozy it up the next time you're cooped up inside. Anyway, this is basically the Americanized version of what you were saying.
Right. Putting
on comfy socks, slippers, sweatpants, getting your simple joys.
It makes you sad after a while.
True. But hot chocolate, tea, soup, comfort foods. Last night we had mac and cheese. Wouldn't recommend that every night, but last night it was very good. Right.
Yeah, I would say my winter uniform is fuzzy socks, leggings, and then a new fresh sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm. And like you said before, finding that balance between comfort and feeling good about yourself. Because you can be in the most comfortable outfit in the world, but you wouldn't want anyone to see you in it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So.
Feel that way.
All right. The last one is be sure to get some sun. This is difficult during the winter, but one place I like to go is Como. They have the conservatory, and you can be indoors around all these beautiful trees that we don't have here usually, and whatever sun there is magnified because you're in a greenhouse. So finding a place that has a greenhouse with a conservatory can really help with this. And also getting that vitamin D.
I love the conservatory at Como. So nice.
Mm-hmm. Me too. She mentions that getting sun this time of year is especially helpful if you suffer from SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. Basically, if you get SAD during the winter months because it's brought on by the cold weather. I think you could definitely relate to that, Rosie.
I definitely can.
And then it mentions again getting a light therapy lamp, which I'm kind of interested in because I've been hearing. This is the third place I've heard it from now, including your mom. So kind of want to give it a try. They say they are average $30 for a starter kit. Light therapy lamp. Think we could swing it? I don't know. Look into it. So that's it for the advice that we found. But I think we got a wide range of advice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Are you feeling more positive about winter now?
I'm so positive. Gung-ho, really.
I mean, you did say this morning that last night we had the perfect winter evening.
I did say that.
I mean, we had the nice jazz coffee shop music playing.
Yeah.
We had a couple bottles of wine. It was the first night of winter. I mean, we were in shock. Yeah, we had a nice dinner, homemade dinner together. And we just spent the evening together, didn't turn on the TV till 9 o'clock. And it really helped.
It really did.
One thing I would recommend is warm baths and or warm showers if you don't have the opportunity to take a bath, or hot tubs. They're all very helpful this time of year. Just warming your bones. Because if you're always cold, you get so bitter.
Warm those bones.
So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for listening. We're sorry we missed last week.
Patrons got it.
Oh, that's right. It's been a crazy time. Our priority last week was getting a premium patron episode out, which we did, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Rosie?
I think I have a little sweeping to do.
And now I have a little editing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for listening. If this is your first time here, we're on Instagram at VOV Podcast. Go check it out and see the art that Kelsey sent us.
Yeah.
As we definitely recommend it. And then Facebook, Voice of the Victim Support System. Twitter at VOV Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Check once in a while. YouTube.
Threadless.
All that crap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Rosie, for sharing your expertise and your experience with the shock of winter yesterday. I'm sure other people can relate to it. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully this has been a nice, laid-back, chill episode for you. Hopefully you're warm and enjoying yourselves. If you are out, especially people in delivery services, mail carriers, UPS or FedEx drivers, grocery delivery, which I do as well. It can be cold out there just driving around all day. Your car never really gets a chance to warm up when you're getting in and out. And if you're a mail carrier, you're driving with your window down. So I know it's rough. It's hard to stay warm this time of year. So hang in there. I hope that you're able to get through the winter and stay positive.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Bye.